New Monmouth University poll on the issue of the media. And guess what? 77% say major news outlets report fake news. That is a very, very, very sizable chunk now, isn't it? 77%. Wow, 77%. And this isn't 77% saying some fucking random right-wing blog promotes fake news. 77% say major news outlets promote fake news. Now, let's dig a little deeper here. 65% say that fake news includes what stories are covered and not covered. So in other words, just the process of story selection. They say that's really biased to the point where it's fake news. So not only is there lying by commission, there's lying by omission. Like, oh, you didn't cover this thing which you should have covered, and, you know, your story selection is shit, therefore you're fake news. So 65% of people say that that is included in the banner of fake news, like choosing not to cover stories you should cover and just having a shitty story selection overall. 25% of people define fake news as the plain face reading of it, which is just a news story that has factually incorrect data in it. And, you know, it's just massively misleading and they're lying or it's just not true. What's in the piece is not true. Now, if you thought, well, hey, this is going to be a partisan thing, and since Trump screams about fake news all the time, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be all Republicans say this is a problem and none of the Democrats say it's a problem. Actually, no. 61% of Democrats believe that outlets spread fake news, major outlets spread fake news. 89% of Republicans and 82% of independents. Furthermore, 42% of respondents say that they believe that major outlets disseminate misinformation to push a political agenda. That's almost half of the country that says not only are they lying, they're lying to push a political agenda in the process. And then here's another interesting fact. 83% of Americans believe that outside interest groups try to plant fake stories in major publications. Now that's fascinating. And that one is probably the most true I've ever seen because, yeah, there's this, that's a whole industry. You know, you have corporations basically control the media, not only because they are corporations, but also because they do pro-corporate propaganda. You plant stories that make your company look good, and then you have these corporate fluff pieces. And 83% of Americans are onto that. They say major interest groups plant fake stories in major publications, basically to try to make themselves look good. So here's the main takeaway from this story. The American people are just, they have no faith whatsoever in basic American institutions. No faith. They look at the way our country functions and they say, listen, we're getting screwed here. We're screwed in terms of the flow of information and news that we receive. We're screwed in terms of the two political parties and how the system is rigged. Our wages have been stagnant since the 1980s. Nobody's looking out for the little guy. And we live in an age of constant bullshit. We're being fed a heaping dose of bullshit from the political establishment, from the media, and there's just zero faith in our institutions. Zero. And as a result of that, what happens? When Donald Trump, a giant demagogue who's part of the elites, I mean, that's what he is. He's part of the elites. But when he comes out and he screams about fake news, they're lying, fake news, it's all fake news. You know, in Washington, D.C. and New York, in elite establishment circles, they clutch their pearls when Trump attacks the media, and they go, oh my goodness, how impolite he is. And doesn't this show you how he's unfit for office? But that's actually one of the few things where the American people hear him do it, and they go, he's 100% right. And this gets back to a major point I've been making on this show from, you know, before the fucking election, which is how you attack Trump matters. And there are ways to attack him that make sense. that'll work in terms of making him less popular and in terms of making you more popular, but there are ways to attack him that'll make him stronger. That people will go, oh, shit. No, he's right about that one. So when you clutch your pearls when he attacks the media and you go, how dare you, sir? This is a fine institution in this country. That is the biggest bullshit response. So that makes people like him more, and they think you're bullshitting, largely because you are bullshitting. And that's how many times have we seen this? Trump attacks the media, and then you have these gasping reporters on CNN going, oh, I cannot believe you would attack such a wonderful institution such as the media in this country, good sir. We do a great job. We do the best we can, given the information. And the thing is, they're so smug and up their own asses that they make him look down to earth. Isn't that crazy? They are so high off the smell of their own farts that they make him look like he's keeping it real. Donald Trump, who's one of the biggest liars we've ever seen. So, and that's the thing that's so sad. Because, listen, it's not a question. 77% of the American people are right that major outlets promote fake news all the fucking time. That's the whole point of corporate media. Corporate media does propaganda for the corporate establishment. They're not trying to they don't care about telling you the truth. Look at what happened during the Bush administration. During the Bush administration, they said, oh, yeah, Saddam did 9/11, and Saddam worked with Osama bin Laden, and Saddam has weapons of mass destruction. And major outlets called U.S. torture enhanced interrogation. Why? Because the government told them to do that. So they do spew bullshit on a regular basis. And because our institutions and our media is so bad, that opens up the door for a fucking demagogue like Trump to step in and go, I'm going to call bullshit on all this. Now, it doesn't matter that he's also bullshitting in that situation, because most people are going to do just the surface analysis and go, he's right, because the institutions are bullshit, they're screwing us, and the media's been lying to us all along. So, and of course, the response from the political establishment and from the Democrats is the exact wrong response. They circle the wagons when they shouldn't circle the wagons, and they defend the media and all their honor and their integrity, even though they lied us into multiple wars, and they lied about torture, and they never tell us the truth or hardly ever tell us the truth. When the real response from the Democrats should be, yeah, you're right. They are full of shit, but so are you. And here's how you're full of shit. Here's the 432 examples of how you're full of shit. So you know what? I'm going to sit here and critique the media because I'm not bullshitting people. You can save your fucking criticism because you are also bullshitting people. That's how you respond. But they don't respond that way. They can't respond that way. They want to get high off the smell of their own farts and act like, he's so wrong and the media is always so right and so respectable. Well, they're not. And you guys have a way of being so smug and insufferable that you make Donald Trump look down to earth. And that's sad.